Welcome to DepEd TV. Listening is an art of the heart. Speaking from the heart is an art. Communication brings human connection even we are all different in the way we perceive the world. I'm Mom Trisha, exploring with you the art of oral communication. In today's episode, you will understand how your words could positively affect or negatively affect the flow of communication. We will talk about the types of speech acts. What are the 3 types of speech acts? What are the 5 distinct classifications of elocutionary acts? Join me, let us all learn together. Before we begin, let's have a recap on our previous lesson on the types of speech style. What are the 5 types of speech style? Brilliant! You got them right! The 5 types of speech style are frozen, formal, consultative, casual, and intimate. Let's try to determine the type of speech style used in each of the given descriptions. What speech style is used in a respectful situation or in a solemn ceremony, in which there is generally a fixed form of writing? Frozen speech style is correct. You are amazing. Could you give some examples? That will do. Do you also have these examples on your list? Philippine National Anthem, Preamble to the Constitution, Scripts in Marriage Ceremonies. That's great! Here's the next question. What speech style is used in formal situations, in which words are relevant to academic and professional communication? Here, speakers tend to prepare their speech in advance. You got it! Formal speech style is the right answer. Some examples are the President's State of the Nation address, judges' pronouncements, and business proposals. What speech style is the most operational? It is a two-way participation of communicators. It seeks to express and understand thoughts in a semi-formal conversation. Consultative speech style is correct. You are remarkable. Could you give some examples? That will do. Do you also have these examples on your list? Classroom discussion, parent-teacher conference, employer-employee conversation. Nice going for today's recap. With communication, a lot of things could be achieved or could not be done. Could be understood or could be misinterpreted. For today's episode, these are the objectives. Determine the suggested meanings of expressions and utterances. Find out situations where the classifications of speech acts are performed. Respond effectively and appropriately to a speech act. In certain situations like, if you are sorry for something, you express your apology. If you appeal, you express your request. If you wish someone to join you, you express an invitation. Certain expressions and utterances could help you achieve results. According to Jane Austen, a philosopher of language and developer of the speech act theory, there are three types of speech acts: locutionary, illocutionary, and perlocutionary. A speech act deals with your utterances or words you say. These are not just words and their definitions, for with those words, different things could be accomplished. Some of your utterances are greeting someone to show respect, clarifying a thought for a better understanding, apologizing for your mistake, and many more. Let's discuss the locutionary act. It is the utterance or what is said by the speaker. It is the expression of what you feel and what you think. Some expressions are:
Good morning, Raisa. Please submit your research project.
I'm not comfortable to be here.
your utterance or what you say is the locutionary act. Let's talk about the illocutionary act. It is the intended meaning of what is said by the speaker. This deals with the social function of what is said. Your message may be to invite, to suggest, to advise, or to command. By the locution, which is the actual utterance of the speaker, please submit your research project. Comes the illocution, in which the speaker asked you to submit your research project. You have to submit your research project because someone asked for it. Let's have another example. By the locution, I'm not comfortable to be here, comes the illocution in which the speaker expresses her feeling at the moment, thus suggesting of being away from the place where she is, or to go to another place where she will feel comfortable. The third type of speech act is the perlocutionary act. It is the action that results from the utterance or what is said by the speaker. This effect is based on the context wherein the speech act is mentioned. With the locution, please submit your research project, would lead you to submit your research project. The locution, I'm not comfortable to be here, would lead the receiver of the message to accompany her or let the speaker go to another place where she would feel comfortable. You have learned about the three types of speech acts: the locutionary act, the illocutionary act, and perlocutionary act. Try to answer the first activity found on What's More, page 9 of your self-learning module by citing example expressions for every speech act. You may now do the activity. That will do. Let's now look at what you have constructed. Is your locution and utterance expressed to someone who is the receiver of the message? Fantastic! Is your illocution the intended meaning of your utterance, in which may be to invite, to suggest, to advise, or of other social functions? Terrific! Is your perlocution the action that results from your utterance? Great job! It seems that you are doing very well with our lesson. Furthermore, Let's deal about the 5 distinct classifications of elocutionariat. Assertive, directive, commissive, expressive, and declarative. These are the basis of your purpose or intent in your utterances. Assertive. You express a belief about a proposition or statement that is offered for consideration and acceptance. Some examples are when you suggest, swear, boast, and conclude. Could you think of some other verbs that could be used when performing this classification? Great effort! With this utterance,
I swear, I could tell my neighbor not to throw garbage in our backyard.
the speaker is confident that she can truly express her thought to a neighbor. On your paper, please write your own example utterance on assertive classification. You may refer to the verbs mentioned or those that you have thought of earlier. That will do. Does your utterance express a belief about a proposition or statement that is offered for consideration and acceptance? Nicely done! Directive. You try to make the receiver of your message to perform an action. Some examples are when you ask, command, beg, and request. Could you think of some other verbs that could be used when performing this classification? Great! With this utterance,
Please don't throw your garbage in our backyard.
you are asking or requesting someone to not do a certain action. Please write your own example utterance using the directive classification. That will do. Does your utterance make the receiver of your message perform an action? How extraordinary! Commissive. You commit to do something in the future. Examples of a commissive act are when you promise, plan, threaten, and offer. Could you think of some other verbs that could be used when performing this classification? Clever. With this utterance, I plan to report our neighbor to the authorities for throwing garbage into our backyard. You plan to be doing an action soon for a certain act to be stopped. Please write your own example utterance using the commissive classification. That will do. Does your utterance commit you to do something in the future? You tried hard. Expressive. You express your feeling or emotional reaction. Some examples are when you give thanks, apologized, criticized, and welcome. Could you think of some other verbs that could be used when performing this classification? Hooray for you! With this utterance,
I admire you for your discipline and neatness.
you express your appreciation for someone's act. Please write your own example utterance using the expressive classification. That will do. Does your utterance express your feeling or emotional reaction? Very well. Declarative. You bring a change or cost in a situation. Some examples are when you bless someone, baptized, bathe, and compliment. Could you think of some other verbs that could be used when performing this classification? Nice! With this utterance,
I allow you to report directly to my office the illegal dumping happening around the area.
by having the thought that you are allowed to report directly to a certain office, this changes your situation. Please write your own example utterance using the declarative classification. That will do. Does your utterance bring a change or cost in a situation? You are catching on. Assertive, directive, commissive, expressive, and declarative are the 5 distinct classifications of an elocutionary act. We have just discussed the 3 types of speech acts and the 5 distinct classifications of an elocutionary act. Let's try to answer the 5-item practice activity about today's discussion. Question number 1. This is a type of speech act that refers to the intended meaning of the utterance or what is said by the speaker. The answer is commissive. You commit to do something in the future. Question number 4. What classification of elocutionary act is expressed in this utterance? You are promoted to be the head of the culinary department. The answer is declarative. You bring a change or cause in a situation. For the last question, question number 5. What could be the best interpretation of this utterance? I have to submit my report on time, so I need to focus with what I'm doing right now. A. The speaker needs time to accomplish his or her report, so I should not interrupt him or her. B. The speaker needs my help, so I should know what he or she is doing. C. The speaker wants me to talk to him or her about his or her report. D. The speaker allows me to work with his or her report. The answer is A. The speaker needs time to accomplish his or her report, so I should not interrupt him or her. The speaker needs to submit a report on time, and he or she needs to focus on what he or she is doing. Were you able to get all the answers? Great! You were remarkable. Now, to formally assess your learnings on our lesson, let us turn to the issued self-learning module on oral communication. Module 7, Types of Speech Act. You may now answer the assessment activity on pages 16 and 17 of the module. I'm happy to have such a wonderful discussion with you about the types of speech acts. You will experience various situations in which you will need to communicate. Sometimes, you tend to think of the words that you should use. Reflect on the manner that you should deliver your words. And consider the kind of interaction that you should act upon. All of these are important to be able to express yourself properly. Once again, this is Mom Tricia exploring with you the art of oral communication that brings human connection even we are all different in the way we perceive the world. Have a good day, learners!